Okay, it's time for the webinar to start. Welcome, Alex Deployer from Expert Forex. And in today's webinar, I'm going to attempt to double my account in one trade. And I'll just go through a few points about the webinar as an introduction. So let's do that and let's see if it works this time. Okay, so as I said, the purpose of the webinar is really to do the double in one trade, show you how I find them, but the whole emphasis is really going to be on education. Hopefully, I can give you a lot of trading ideas through this particular process, and that is really what this is all about. The webinar is recorded, so you'll be able to see a recording. You'll be able to stop the recording in places that I might have gone too fast and have a look a second time. So don't worry about focusing too hard on remembering what's going on. You can always rewatch the recording. Okay, and hopefully you're comfortable with the chat facility, the screens. I think you can adjust the sizes of those chat windows, so you can do that. Just one request that if you do ask questions or make comments, that you keep them nice and short. I am on my own basically here, and I cannot answer questions that are a paragraph long. Try and keep them one sentence or two sentences long. We're going to cover some of the techniques that I use, and I'm going to give you some guidance on trading as a whole, and hopefully at the end of the webinar there'll be time for discussions and questions. So really just sit back and enjoy this, and let's see where it takes us. I'm not sure how long this is going to last, but as of this last point there, it is recorded, so relax. Okay, so the process I'm going to go through is I'm going to do an environmental review, look at the 360-degree indicator, some currency strengths, some announcements, high level. Then I'm going to do a high-level review of the 4-hour daily charts and profiles. So, and then we'll look at the relative strength profiles. That they have become one of my favorite ways of doing this. I've moved away from the 4-hour charts and 1-hour charts, and looking more at the relative strength profiles on a 4-hour basis. And then I'm going to get a short list out, and then we'll look at some multi-time frame charts to make up our minds on which currencies to trade, or which currency to trade, because I've only got one shot at it tonight. And then the big trick here is, how do you double your account in one trade? And that takes a lot of calculations. And I have a tool that I've posted on the website that you can go and download as Excel tool. But I'll work through it with you during that particular point of the webinar. And then obviously the last point is going to be to place the trade. And when the trade is placed, it will be set and forget. No interference with the trade. It's either going to hit the stop or the target. No following stops or trailing stops it will be used. It's just going to be a very straightforward trade. Okay, and one of the things that I'd like you to get and out of this is that the process is actually very simple. So it's a KISS system. To me, it's very simple. I've been doing it for well over a decade. So, but in the end, it's simple. You'll see the techniques I use. I've only got 3 or 4 techniques that I use, and I just focus on those and make them work. I don't try and jump and find out the latest thing out there. I just focus on those basic techniques and make them work. The idea is really, and you'll see a lot of the things I do are based on an unconscious competence. In other words, I don't think too much. The ideas come to me as I'm doing them. So, and that's what I'm encouraging you to do. You should get out of the level where you're focusing on detail and give yourself the opportunity to be creative and look at things on a trained basis, and I'll go into that a little bit more. And again, you know, I get in support, we get a lot of questions about techniques and things like that. And it's very clear that these people aren't actually trading. It's just technical questions they're asking. So Forex trading is about trading, and you really need to just trade and trade and trade. And when I say trade, it's not only forward trading. You can back test, you can back trade, you can optimize, you can do all kinds of things, but you need to be in the market testing techniques all the time, and that's where you learn, not out of sitting around discussing techniques in forums and things like that. Also, you'll see today there's no perfection in Forex trading. So every single deal that we're going to look at here will have a balance between maybe a 70% sell and a 30% buy. You'll never get the 100% sure trade, and that is something that you must get used to, that you don't need to do. You just need to be right about 60% of the time. Okay, let's have a look. Again, action orientation, trade, trade, trade. But very important here, you do need to be an expert at everything. So you can't be an expert at entries and leave risk control, lot calculations, the psychological thing, part of trading, where to put your stops, where to put your targets, all of that. So many people spend 80% of their time just worrying about the entry, and they forget about all those other things that make a complete trader. And a complete trader is quite a thick-skinned trader because they've got to take a lot of losses. So, so you need to look at absolutely everything in trading. Don't just focus on entry techniques. Very dangerous profession to have. It will be a short one, I can tell you that. You need to be a complete trader. Very important. Right, and then and I always say in my signatures and things like that, the market is your biggest teacher. So the more time you can spend in the market, the more the market will teach you how it wants to be traded, rather than the books telling you how the market should be traded. The market's the boss. It will tell you. And then very important that in your trading career that you get a coach or a trading partner. Very, very important. I was lucky. I had Barry Thornton in the beginning. I had a mentor there. And my wife, in fact, is a fantastic trader. She's much better than I am in terms of conforming to techniques. I think ladies in general are more, they can follow rules, trading rules a lot better than men. Men have got bigger egos and they try and overpower the market and things like that. But important to get a coach or a trading partner, or just join a technical analysis club, like I also did that, or anything like that. Get out and discuss things with other people. That's very important. Forums aren't the greatest place. Physical discussion is really good. All right, so a little bit, hopefully that's the last of that. Let's see what's in store. Okay, so we'll move straight on to the trading techniques that you're going to see me using in this particular session. So I have basically only got 4 trading techniques that I use, and I've been using them for well over a decade. And that is why I've been able to be so confident with my trading, because I haven't been like a kid in a candy shop. Oh, this looks like, let me taste this one. I've decided what I'm going to do, and I've stuck with that, and I've made it work. And I see that the biggest thing that discourages success in Forex trading are the distractions that traders go through. So you'll see my methods are very simple, and that's why they work, actually. Okay, so here we go. So one of my biggest signals that I use is the RSI. I think everybody will know that. And really, all it is, it consists of the RSI going overbought and oversold regularly. And then from an oversold situation, I don't know if you can see my cursor here, but you have 2 humps like that. at least, and in this case there's 3 humps, but this is the kind of setup I'm looking for: 2 nice humps, a divergence. You can see there the price is going up, the indicators going divergence, and a trend line violation. Now that is just my bread and butter signal that I've always traded over the years. So I'm always looking for that kind of signal. It doesn't always display itself perfectly. You've got to sometimes use your imagination. So the other one is channels. Channels, very easy to trade. It's basically identify turning points, and once you've got 3 turning points, you draw a parallel line and then a parallel line over the middle one, and you've got a channel. And as you can see there, channel trading is actually quite nice. It gives you firstly good entries, but also good exits, and also you can catch 100% of the move using channels. So that's why I like channels. Really nice and simple, but they are deceiving. They actually have Fibonacci built into them. They have all kinds of other things built into them. Then trend lines, those are non-horizontal support and resistance lines, and I use them a lot for breakout type of trading or trend continuation trading, that type of thing. So really basic tools that I'm using. You can see RSI is my main indicator. Other than that, I don't really use indicators that much. I have the moving average on there, and that's just to train my eye to see the trend. And then we have support and resistance, and you'll see a bit of that happening in today's analysis. Horizontal support and resistance and non-horizontal support and resistance. And what I'm always looking for is a confluence, a coming together of non-horizontal and horizontal support and resistance, like you see over here where my cursor is. Hopefully you can see it. There's the horizontal support and resistance and the non-horizontal support and resistance, and they're coming together, and that makes a really good bouncing point for support and resistance trading. So those are the techniques, really simple techniques, but that's what I focus on, and I don't get distracted by any other techniques around. And the sooner you can get there, the better. Okay, we're going the wrong way. Got stuck. Okay, let's try again. Why is it not moving? Trying to go to the next slide and it's not going. Okay. Okay, let's go use longhand way. Okay, and then there we are. All right, I spoke a bit about conscious incompetency, and the example here is a little baby that's in a car. The baby just knows it's in a certain environment. It doesn't know, it's unconsciously incompetent. It doesn't know that it doesn't know. Let's put it that way. Then the little baby grows up, and as you can see in this picture here, it suddenly becomes conscious that it's incompetent. And it might be incompetent because its legs are too small, or it can't reach what needs to be done to drive a car. So it knows that it can drive a car in the future, but it is consciously incompetent. Then the boy grows up, and suddenly he becomes consciously competent. Now, this is the stage where you're learning to drive, you going for your license, and you learning all the rules of the road and that. So you're consciously competent. And then you get to the final stage, and you can see this picture here where you can almost drive in your sleep. And in fact, I've experienced that with certain people after a party, that they just don't know how they got home, but somehow they got home, and that's what basically happens. You drive on an unconsciously competent way. And trading is exactly like that. And you must do your best to get out of this consciously competent to unconsciously competent mode. And the only way you can do that is by trading a lot, back trading a lot, testing a lot, and that type of thing. And after a while, these things become you become unconsciously competent. Okay, so that's a little bit. Let's. I think we can go straight into the trading now. I just wanted to give that as an introduction, and let's see if I can get this done. Okay, let's. All right, we're on into the charts. Let's have a look at. All right, so as I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to firstly do an environmental analysis. And one of the things that I will do, and let's see if I can find it here. So many charts here. Let's see, this must probably be easier to do it this way. There we are. Okay, so one of the first things I'll go to is the Forex Factory calendar. What I like about it, it color codes the announcements, so I can see the red ones are all the important ones, and the other colors are less important, and they're pretty good, pretty nicely shown throughout the week, and you can really go backwards and forwards and look at them, and there's a lot of information if you click on. Yeah, but the reason why, all right, so I've looked at this, and all the important things have happened. There's been a few Australian things that happened, and we're going to have a look if that's had any impact on the price action. But essentially, there's nothing in our way onwards until 2 o'clock tomorrow, and it's basically surrounding the US dollar. So we just bear that in mind, and so that's the first thing to do. The second thing that I like doing is looking at the 360-degree indicator, and I'll do that quickly. You can see I've got a lot of profiles. These aren't even all the profiles. This is just a backup analysis. So I've got lots of profiles here, and I have my favorites, which the first one is the 360-degree indicator. And then basically what I'm looking for are highly overbought or highly oversold currencies on numerous time frames. So here, for instance, on the euro yen, there's three time frames that are overbought. Over here, we've got the pound yen. There's three time frames that are overbought there, and we've got a few other ones that have got high readings there. So those are the kind of currencies that I will look at, and I've already made a note to look at the euro. And now I'm a contrarian trader, so when something's overbought, I tend to look for. If it's overbought, I would look for sells. If it's oversold, I'd look for buys. That's another aspect of my trading. Essentially a contrarian trader, and but I do break out as a result of a bounce. So I do breakout trades, but not in terms of trend, not in terms of. I wouldn't regard myself as a breakout trader. It's part of that bounce methodology. So, all right. So I've seen here the CAD. I've made a note of the CAD. The euro yen looks good. The franc yen's interesting. That one's coming out. So we'll just make a note here. Franc yen. The CAD, and the euro yen, and let's just see. Okay, that and there was another one, the pound yen. It changes from time to time. Okay, so I've got that on my short list. We're going to be looking at those particular ones, and then what I would normally do is move on to the 4-hour RSI overview charts. And those, although you might find them pretty small and difficult to potentially read. What I'm looking for, firstly, are those RSI shapes that I was talking about. For instance, here's one that's already happened. There's the two mounds. It's come from oversold rather to overbought. Two mounds. It hasn't got the divergence, but there was the type of signal that I'd be looking for. Because I'm used to this, I can. Oops, there's one that's actually setting up quite nicely there. That one there, oversold, overbought, and two nice mounts. So I'm going to add the yen to my shortlist, and let's move on and see what else there is. All right, I can see a pattern happening here, and I'll just explain the pattern. The pattern is US dollar based. So when the market is, the market can either be yen dominated or USD dominated. Now, there's a pattern that I can see straight away here, and to let you know what that is all about, let me just go to the USD relative strength charts. Here's the relative strength for the USD. So what I'm basically saying here is that all the USD, where the USD is the second currency in the cross, can you see all of them have got blue candles? Blue candle, blue candle, blue candle, blue candle. Then if you look at the bottom here, you've got the USD, where that's the first currency, and here you have them going down. Now there's a slight, oh, that's a 1 hour, so let's change that. But that one is slightly out. It's still a red candle, but down, and that's a red candle there. So what we can say is that in the last hour or so, the US dollar has strengthened. In other words, it's has actually weakened. It's weakened, and that's why the other currencies are gaining against that dollar. That's why the other currencies are going up. The US dollar has weakened, and that is why when it's the first currency, the currencies tend to be going down. So those are the kind of patterns I'm looking for, because they will drive my decision later on. And then you'll see there's a number here on all of my charts, and that is the daily range of, or not the daily range, the range, the average range of the particular candle time frame that I have. So this is the average range of the 4-hour candles for the pound, and you'll see that that one is 36, which is quite a nice volatile number there, and you'll see some are not that volatile, like there's a 20 and so on. So I always have them there so that I can see get a good feel of volatility of the currencies. All right, so let's go back to that original one because it's just something I picked up in that sort of high level review that I did. All right. Sorry, I am focusing on the analysis at the moment. I'm pretty bad at answering questions. All right. It's just some of the questions that I can see here. The RSI is 4. Setting of 4, and the moving average is a setting of 4, offset by 4, or shifted by 4. All right, so let's have a look. So I'm looking for there. Right, I've made a note of that, and I've added that to my short list. We've got the pound yen here. This one. You can see overbought, oversold, and we've got a whole number of waves underneath it. And there's the trend line. That, in fact, was a very nice signal a while ago. It still most probably is. So I'll add that one to my list here. New Zealand. I like this one because it's quite a volatile currency, and we're looking at a buy on that one. Okay, all right. So I've started making a list here. Let's have a look. A few currencies are can you see they are at a point of starting to make new lows. So we've got to watch those ones. Those can actually run considerably if they start making new lows. And the type of thing as you trade the breakout of that when it makes new lows. So we'll also watch that one. I don't think I've got. I don't like trading the franc, but I've got the franc yen as a possibility there. So we'll come back to that. At the moment, I can't see anything jumping out at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight into the relative strength charts. There's nothing really stunning there, but the relative strength chart you'll see will give us a more of a picture. Okay, so how the relative strength charts work is that I have all the crosses of the Aussie, for instance, in this particular case, on one profile. So I can actually compare all of the Aussies crosses, and I can firstly that will give me patterns. I can see if the Aussie is weakening. Like at the moment, it looks like it's actually weakening in terms of many of its trading partners. Also, I can also analyze more currencies that way based on the 4 hour. So here, the Aussie New Zealand here is a classical RSI signal. There you've got three waves. In fact, there's a divergence there, and it is crossing. So that in fact is a trading signal. And I'll just make a note here. Aussie New Zealand. I'm not keen on trading. I'll tell you why. It's got a pretty low volatility. It's about 18. I'd rather trade something like that. It's got a 45 volatility. So that one, although that's a beautiful signal, the potential of this trade is 26 pips. So that's one of the reasons I don't trade that one. But there's an example of a signal. Let's just see if we've got any Aussie setups here. No. Aussie New Zealand, we said. Where's that? Oh, don't have the Aussie. Oh, there we are. Oh, that's the one. So I'm going to actually take that one off my list. Aussie New Zealand. Okay, let's have a look at. So let's have a look at the next relative strength. So we've done all the Aussies. Now we're into the CAD, and let's. Here's a CAD franc. I think we did note the CAD franc, did we? See, there's our double mount. Double mount, it doesn't have a divergence, but that's a good signal there. Not sure of the volatility of this one because this one is also a low volatility. You see it's 19. I'm going to just leave that one off. And for instance, the pound CAD, I'm also going to leave that one off for now. The blue ones here, or the mauve ones you can see here, are already analyzed. So because that's an Oz, so I don't need to look at those anymore. So let's have a look at some of these. There's some very close potentials building up here, and I can't look at too many, but there's 2 mounds, and it's about to move over there. There's 2 mounds. So you can see that using these relative strengths, sometimes it does help. There's another one that's building up quite nicely. The Euro Cad. Just want to see the Euro Cad. Yeah, the spread is a little bit high on that one, so might not go for that. You see, the type of transaction I'm going to be looking for today is going to be one with a target of between 60 and 80 pips. And if you have a spread of 12, that makes eats up a lot of your stops potential. So I'm going to, on purpose, avoid very high spreads. Now, Cad Yen. Cad Yen. No, that's a bit of a mysterious one. That I'm just going to have a look at that. This is an interesting one. It is where it is now is a support and resistance level. It doesn't look like it, but they are there, and it is at a resistance level right now. So that could be a potential support and resistance trade. Not supported by the RSI at this stage, but let's move on. I'm not going to add that to my shortlist as yet. All right, so let's just go on and go to the next one. It might sound a bit random, but I am working towards a nice shortlist here. Okay, so now there's an example of the trend line technique that I mentioned earlier. It also is coming close to almost a channel type of trade here. So this is the Euro Yen. Now, strangely enough, this one I fancy for a sell, and the reason being it's going to hit the top there. The RSI will be quite a lot overbought, and it is likely to just snap back from there. And you can see how it snapped back over there. It snapped back. If you join those two candles, you'll see a big spike. Join those two big spikes. So that's what I expect to happen there. So I'm putting the Euro Yen as my on my shortlist for sure. That was the Euro Yen we looked at. Sorry, I'm not looking at any comments or questions at the moment. I'm focusing on this. It's quite tricky. And there again, the mauve ones I don't worry about. Euro, New Zealand, not bad. Yeah, the target potential is not big enough on that trade, so I'll just leave that. You see, the target potential here is huge, so I think that's going to be one of the top shortlist items. Okay, so let's have a look at the next one. So that's the Euro done. I've got I've got 8 items on the shortlist so far, so we are doing okay. What's the time like? We're getting there. The pound is the next one, so there's a lot more moves happening now. The pound was looking like a breaking out of this. You see there was a nice support area, head and shoulders almost type of movement there. But now, in fact, it is making a buy signal. So see the 2 mounds, no divergence though, and it is likely to make a buy signal there, up there. All right, I'm actually adding that as a shortlist item. Okay. Pound yen, yes, I think we've got that. Messy. I don't know, maybe not. Oh, this is 1 minute. Well, that slipped to a 1 minute. Our chart. What's happening here? That is possibly the support and resistance area that we should be looking at, and it's right there. So, and the RSI is almost confirming. So I'll put that on my short list. That one's messy, and pound New Zealand. Oh, that's a nice one. Pound New Zealand. All right, this is a pity it's not making a divergence. That worries me a little bit that it hasn't made a divergence there, but it's certainly overbought, oversold, lots of waves underneath, and it also has well, if you cheat, it's most probably got that, but it's all the way back from here somewhere. So it's something like that. So it looks like it wants to buy, doesn't it? It just looks like it. This is a double bottom, and this must probably resistance here. So let's have a look. Oh yeah, there we go. Boom. Maybe not. Yeah. Let's just see if we can refine it. Yeah, that's about it. So it's bounced on very strong support. It's made a double bottom, or it's making a double bottom. It's the RSI saying, "Oh, I want to go up. I want to go up." It's not really happening. So that's a potential trade. Pound New Zealand, I don't think I'll trade it because of the spread. Okay, so we'll leave this off that one. But that's a nice signal. Okay, so let's move on to the. That's the pound, and yippee, the yen. All right. Now this is potentially the trade of the day. So I'm not sure if this is right. Let's just see what it looks like. Yeah, it's most probably right. It's going to the area, reversal area on the RSI. Now this is the most unlikely sell that you'll ever see, but I like it for a sell. Let's just go down to daily. Yes, there's resistance at the top, and there's a bit of room to the bottom. Just want to check. Oh, that's 120 pips. Okay, so there's most probably the trade of the day. Let's just I don't know. Sometimes I get a feeling about these things, but that just looks so good. And let's just double check the 360 pound Cad Yen. What was that? It was the Cad Yen. Over there. All right, so let's just go back to the yens. See, the thing with a trade like that is that all the indicators will tell you not to trade it. It will tell you to buy it. But I might sell that one. Let's just see what else there is. Here's a very nice one. Ledge. See, this is a ledge in the direction of the trend. and there have been ledgers before this. Messy there. No, so that's about it. But that's a kind of setup I can spot very quickly, because it's oversold, overbought, 2 humps, trade that break. Problem is, I don't think there's much in there. It's about 70 pips. 70 pips. Okay. All right, so there's a great sell trade. Yen. Okay, right, we've got that on the short list. Okay, we better start moving now. I'm going a little bit slowly. I don't normally go this slow. I'm just because I'm talking to everything. It's taking. All right, so we don't have to look at the mauve ones. This one is the franc, and as I've already mentioned, this one's got that ledge there, and should it break down, that would be quite a nice sell. Although there's some resistance very quickly after that, 45 pips, and then after that, so yeah, so there's a bit there if that break happens. Now this is a typical case where I'd put a penning order there and just go to sleep and let the market decide what it wants to do. Right, just as not really. No, this is not good. Oh, where did that come from? I don't think this is actually it, but it's sort of a channel 1, 2, 3, and if anything, this should be a sell down to the bottom. No, not big enough. All right, so let's go. Let's work our way very quickly through the short list. At this point, I've got a short list of about 7 items, and I'm just going to go through them one by one. The franc yen is my favorite so far. I don't really trade that one ever, but it just looks so good. So what I'm looking for is multi-time frame. Franc yen might be right at the bottom here. Franc yen, yeah. All right, so there's the franc yen, and you can see why I like it. It's a really good channel trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it should bounce there. Reason being, there's just if we look at the daily, here's the daily. There's quite a lot of resistance at the top there. Quite a bit of resistance there, so even a little bit down. So it shouldn't, it shouldn't break through too much, and it's already overbought quite a lot. The short-term chart is also showing a potential sell. That one's not quite yet. It's not ripe yet, but it doesn't need to be. And so that looks like a good one. Concern here is that the daily is giving a buy signal. It's 2 waves with a trend line violation. No divergence, but that is a bit of concern, but not serious. That's on the daily. These other 2 are most probably in the short term. Remember, we're only going for about 60 pips. And the other thing about this one, it has lots of potential to the bottom side. It's about 100 pip potential, 80 pips at worst. So that's another thing to look for is a potential. And also it has the potential of a small stop. Oh, 30 pip stop, 40 pip stop, 40 pip stop. Okay, so I think this is the deal. Let's see. So let's see if we can bump this one off number 1. So, all right. Sorry, I haven't been looking at any comments yet. I'll work my way back through them. How do you duplicate those lines? What you do, you activate the line, press Control and activate the line, press Control, and then you drag it, and then you get a parallel line duplicate. All right, let's see. All right, so that's the pound, the franc yen on the short list. The other one that I'm going to look at is the euro yen. I think it's in a very similar situation, but let's go and have a look. Multi-time frame euro yen. All right, yeah, it's in the same same kind of situation. In fact, you just move it up. 1, 3, 4. So that's bounce number 4 up there. It's a funny thing, but this is also called a divergence. They are flat, and at the moment it's going down. So that's also a type of divergence. So this one's also a nice high potential trade, 120 pips potential. It feels like it's got another jump to go, but let's have a look at the daily chart. It's really battle. It's going to get pretty close to being dangerous. Did you see the franc yen? The franc yen actually the 1 hour was actually selling. This one's doing nothing in particular. I'm not quite sure. All right, so this is maybe number 2 at the moment. I'm just going to give it a 2, and that one number 1, and we'll work our way through. Let's have a quick look at the pound. Now this is for a buy. So buy's gone. I know it's buying now, but there's no. All right, so this is most probably where the buy came from. All right, I see where the buy is. Okay, so that's where the buy is. This is also where the buy is. Something like that. It's probably not as nice. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. And also here's where the buy is. So let's have a look. It's like that. Oh, no, that was badly drawn. No, it's not a channel. It's not a channel. Okay, so that's basically what it is. Okay, so what it's saying is, and let's have a look at the trend. The trend is up on the daily. It's up. So basically what it's doing, it's ledging on the daily. There's the ledge. It's not a bad trade, this. It's in the direction of the trend. It seems to want to go. It's knotting at the moment, so it's a bit of indecision. So here is the maybe not that high, and 80. So, 60. Okay. See, the potential is not as high as that franc yen trade or the euro yen. The euro yen and franc yen have still got the best potential. Okay, so that was the pound. I think the pound's number 3 at the moment. Pound yen. I think I'm running out of time, so I better start making a decision. Pound yen, multi-time frame. Doof, 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 doof. Buy. Just nothing much. bit of resistance ahead. You see, there's a support and resistance line, and it's right there. The signal is buy, but it has to break through that resistance, and then even if it breaks out through there, there's probably another one somewhere over there. Ugly. Yeah, it's probably there. So there's two resistances at the top there. So I'm not going to look at this one any further. And we've got the euro and the yen. The euro USD. Now, this one to me feels like a sell. If you look at the daily, it just looks like it wants to fall over. It's making divergences there. It just looks like it. The problem is the short-term ones are all buying, so, and even there it's buying. So it's confusing signals, and a sell would be against the trend. But this just has to fall over at some stage. I don't know when, but it has to. And I actually fancied it for a sell earlier, but now it's obviously out of it. But that just has to fall over soon. There's a buy signal going, which is with the trend, with no potential. Not much potential, 40 pips potential. So no, let's leave the euro out of it. The yen, I think, was too small. I don't know if we've looked at the yen yet. It was that ledge. That's a really nice ledge there, but I think the potential is too small. It's about 60 to 70. The others had, the euro yen had better, but it's a riskier trade, but it's got better potential. All right. So, all right. I think it's now between the euro yen and the franc yen. Now, I never trade the franc yen, but let's see what let's spin the coin. Now, I'm going to spin the coin between the euro yen and the franc yen. And theoretically, all right, let's look at the volatility. Volatility is 31 on the 4 and 66 on the daily. So 31. All right, so the franc yen 28. 60, so the volatility is higher with the euro yen. So that could be a deciding factor. This is a really against the trend trade, this one. Really, really dangerous trade. It is diverging a little bit. There. I might take the euro yen then instead because of the volatility. And also, if we look down here, where's the euro yen? A euro yen pip 3, a franc yen. Let's have a look where that is. Franc yen 8. Okay, so decisions made because we're buying more volatility for our spread. Definitely the euro yen is going to be the top one. Okay, although the 1 hour doesn't look that great. Let's just go back to the franc, because that's actually giving a beautiful sell signal compared to that one that's showing on the it's not great. Okay. All right, so euro yen it is. Okay, so the decision is on the euro yen. So now I'm going to just do the transaction in terms of more or less what we'll do. So we'll do something like this. We'll put oh, it's too thick. Just put another color. Sorry, I'm not looking at any comments at this stage. We'll chat afterwards. Right, so we're going to enter there. We're going to go for a target round about there. So that's more or less the transaction. So we're looking at a 75 pip target and a 45 pip, let's say 45 pip stop. So I'll just write that down. Stop 45, 75. Okay. Then we're going to do a. Now this is where you can you might get a bit lost, but don't worry. You can. I'll try and go through it slowly, and it might make a bit more sense. So that's we've decided on the euro yen. So the spread on the euro yen is 3, and the account that I'm using here is a fixed spread account, so that gives a bit of certainty to the thing. The stop we said is going to be 45. The target we said was going to be 75. Let's just make it 70, and to double account, this account is $1,000 account, so we need to make $1,000. Now the pip value of the euro yen, now that is another story altogether. All right, so let's have a look at finding that information. So I'm going to just going to okay, maybe it's at the bottom, yeah. Now, it's a sad thing that a lot of the key information that you need to trade is not shown by MT4. So this is the trend bound magic EA. That is a fantastic manual trading thing. But what it does is that what we'll do here is we'll put the euro yen on this one. And what it does, it brings out the margin. So I'm just going to write that out. So the margin is $12.09. The pip value is 92, and as you can see, the account that I'm using is 1,000 to 1, and that's what makes it possible to double your account in one trade. You have to have high margin, but I think that's the information we need. We need the margin, the pip value, and the leverage. Okay, so away we go to to this this one. Oh. Right. All right. Okay. So let's see. So the pip value we said was 0.92. 0.92. A lot. Okay. Let's just format that properly. We just make sure we. It's a number, and it's what's actually a currency. All right, so that's it. Our TOG. So okay, so let's just see what other inputs we need. So we need the margin, which is going to be 12.09, and we needed. I think that's all that we needed actually. All right, so now this model I'm going to be using to work out the lot sizing that I need to place. So in other words, what we're saying is that to double my account, to generate $1,000, I'm going to need 16.22 lots, because if you take the target in pips in value, and divide that by 1,000. That's basically what it gives you. So it's 4 divided by oh no, it's not divided by 7. It's divided by something else. Target times 1. Oh, it's a 62. So it's the $1,000 divided by the 62, because that's the value of the target in dollar terms, and that will say, that says you have to have 16 lots. Let me just change that. That should be 6 divided by 6. Yeah, that's right. Right, so this calculates how many lots are required, and the other thing is that if the stop is hit, which is a lot smaller than the target, I'm going to lose $700 off my account. So I'm not wiping the whole account out. I'm losing $700. Now, the finance required, this is very important because of margin. So the stop value, the stop pip value is actually $41 because it's those pips, 92 cents times 45. It's $41. Then you have a spread of $3. Then you have margin of that amount that we've looked up. So for every lot that you trade, there is, and there's a video on this, so don't worry if you don't understand this offhand. For every lot that you trade, you need $56. Now, if we're going to trade 16 lots, then it means to finance the stop, the margin, the stop, this is $900. Now, what that means is that makes sure that I've got enough money to finance the stop. So that's good. So that's all that calculation is, and it often happens that you don't have enough money. And now what we've got to do is work out the stop levels and the target levels. But I'm running out of time now, so I'm going to just do it the shortcut way that I like doing it, and I'll show you how I do that. So now we know we need to have 16 lots, 16.30 lots. I might up that. I might just go 16.4 lots. I just want to see if that still qualifies. Yes, that doesn't hurt anything. And it means I'm going to get more than so I'm going to go for 16.4 lots. Okay, I hope I haven't lost too many people, but here we go. I'm going to now place the order. So these calculations are critical for the doubling of the account. What I've done so far, you can do normal trading, quite honestly, because instead of being ridiculous and trying to double your account, all you can do is risk 2% per deal, and that will also be fine. But the object of this webinar is to double the account. So out we go, and we go back into our account, and we go back to I've just forgotten which one we're trading. We're trading the euro yen, I think. Yes. All right. So we're doing the euro yen. Oh yeah, that's the one. Okay. So I've already marked where we want to enter, where we want to stop, and where we want to target. So what I'm going to do, and I can't believe it, I think it was 16.4. Yes. So let's do it. Now, this is going to be interesting. It might reject this order, but let's just have a look. So we're going to go, and we are going to go 16.4. 4. We're going to sell the euro yen, and let's put a stop in of where is it now? So it's about 121, and it was about 14. I'm just going to take the numbers up there. I'm not quite sure if they're right. And this one is going to be, you just click on the little corner in there and it'll give you the value. I might as well make that a round number, 30. Oh, geez, now I really messed it up. 1302. Okay, let's just see if that's right. So the target is that. The stop is that, and we're entering right now. So let's do it. Okay. All right. So we in like Flint, and what I'm just going to do is just get rid of some of these lines. And so we want a stop of 45. And we currently have one of 36, so we can move that up a little bit. Let's move it up a little bit. And I just want to make sure that that's about 45. So I'm going by my eye. It's 40. No, I need to move it up a little bit more. Now, because we're selling, the buy stop is very important because it also has the spread built into it. So, yeah, that's about 47 is fine. That's fine. And we were looking for a target of about 70. So let's have a look. Oh, this is 77 pips. So we can shave off a bit there. Good. That's good because it sort of takes it away from the... All right, so I'm refining this one a little bit. All right, so that's about 72. Fraction. Okay, so that should be good. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so there's the deal, and only time will tell if it works or not. Just to remind you, it's more or less a channel trade. It is also a momentum trade. There's a divergence that's happening there, very, very strong divergence. So there's a momentum aspect to this trade. There's also a trend line aspect to the trade, and even over there's a trend line aspect, and there is a resistance aspect to the trade. So those are the main reasons for going in. The stop is actually most probably in a nice safe place, and the target is sort of in line with a previous strong support area. So I'm happy about the target. It's a sell. Maybe target's a bit big, but that's fine. All right, so all right, now I can relax and come back to your questions and comments now. So we've basically completed the process. As you've seen, I've done a high-level review. I've created a shortlist. I've gone into the more detailed charts to refine my shortlist, and I have made a shorter shortlist of maybe 2 or 3, and then decided between them. And I've taken volatility of the currency into account. I've also taken potential, the target. In other words, even if the currency, the setup was really good, and it only had a 40 pip target, I took that into account too. So I hope I've given you some idea. I've rushed this one a little bit because I've tried to speak as I was doing it. I started to go back into those conscious competence field, which is not you should be in the unconscious competence field where you're just doing it without talking and getting on with it. But it's been quite a lot of fun. So let's have a look. Shall I? So yeah, so the account I'm using is $1,000 at 1,000-to-1 leverage. Can you see tell the exact inputs in the settings? No, it's 4. 4 is the period. Let us see the trade details. Okay. Okay, there it is. You can see the margin. Yeah, that's okay. There's the margin. I've only got $700 free. And there are the details. So that's the price, entry price. There's the stop loss, and there's the target. Now I don't know if you know, but there is a trailing stop in MT4. So you just click on the transaction. There's the trailing stop, and you customize it. You put it in, and you say okay, and then you can enter a trailing stop. So a lot of people don't know that you can actually enter trailing stops automatically into MT4. It's a bit hidden away. All right, so let's have a look. So we are a bit over time. Sorry about that. And just looking at the recording, still going on quite nicely. All right, so I'm going to see if I can work through some of the comments. Please send through any questions you might have, and we'll spend the next 10 minutes or so just. Do you make sure you have a divergence in every trade? No, I don't have any trading rules. I trade. It's the balance of evidence. So I don't say every trade has to be a divergence. Every trade has to be a trend line. I say, oh, this looks good because it has the best fit of a lot of stuff. So I try not to make rules for myself. As you've seen, I'm pretty flexible. The more rules you make, the more you're going to confine your trading. How many pips is the target now? You can actually work it out. You know, it's easier for you to work it out. I would say it's if you look at it, target is most probably 71. Can I use the double EA using the same? Probably not, but you can try. Can we copy your trade and double out? Yes, you can copy yours. You can take the chance. Nothing is guaranteed in Forex. Okay. All right, thanks. So there's a confirmation here that the euro yen has a rising wedge. Okay, so that's another confirmation that's pretty good. For profiles, yes, a lot of these profiles and templates are already on our free form under the topic of lifestyle trading. Okay, the templates are free. I'll just go and show you where they are. Or that might waste time, but they are on the free forum, and they're under lifestyle trading, which is courses. Can you recap slowly why you chose that currency? No, I have no idea. That happened way too fast. You'll have to watch the video when it comes out. Okay. All right. Does not show the number of pips. how does Alec draw those lines which show the number of pips? Okay, so you well, the way I do it is when I press on the roller of my mouse and I drag it down, it provides three bits of information. The 12 means it's 12 candles ahead, or I can actually go backwards. So it's 12 candles ahead. The 296 is the number of pips, and then the 171 is the actual price level that I've dragged it to. So it gives you that little bit of information. And I think I've shown you. I've shown you how to draw the duplicate lines. Yeah, effectively the euro yen will be making a double top. Okay. Yeah, I think 30, the RSI levels, 30 and 70 are too slack. 80 and that's just a personal Virginia. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Okay. It looks like I've actually covered most of the questions. And thank you very much for attending. There really have been people from all over the world. Johan from Blue Horizon. Okay, great. Thank goodness I've been to some of these places. That's fantastic. Thanks. All right, I'm just going to go right to the bottom again and just make sure that I've answered. Are there any other questions that you might have? Okay, thanks for that link that you've posted there. Yeah, if you go into the lifestyle is basically what I've done here. I can normally do this process within 20 minutes every day, and that's why I call it the lifestyle process, because you do it and you analyze it, you enter your trades, and then you set and forget. You don't look at them again. And there's no need to look at them at all. The only thing that I might add to my normal trading is a trailing stop. It's crazy not to protect your profits that you've made. Where do we get the 360 indicator? The 360 indicator has a lot to it. I haven't shown you a lot of what it is. It actually has the currency strength side of things, and it has the multi-period. It does a multi-period like this for, I think, 8 indicators. If we look there, you'll see that there's the RSI, the CCI, the MACD, moving averages, ADX, stochastic, Bollinger Band, and the ATR. So there's a lot of indicators that is featured on the. Just go to expertforex.com and you'll find it on that particular page. It's really handy tool. It's nice to see all the readings for all the currencies in one go. And I probably use the RSI, but there's a lot of other tools that you can use. A lot of brokers limit lots to a maximum of 100 or 200 in back. Is this normal? Yes. A lot of brokers will not allow you to trade more than 100 lots, and some only 50 lots. So that's quite normal. So that's normal if you're hitting that. Just trying to think. If you go, for instance, in there and you click on specifications, I think, I'm not quite sure, but it should tell you the contract size. It might tell you the maximum lots. No, it doesn't. No, some of these things are hidden away. Is it a good idea to look at the ATR first when shortlisting? Yes, I have it on all my charts. In fact, the ATR is on all of my charts. That little number over there is the ATR, average to range. It's pretty critical. This is Insta Forex. They have 1,000 to 1 leverage. So you will have seen that I've rejected quite a few trades because the ATR was a small number. I've also rejected a few trades because the spreads were too high. So those are some of the filters that I do use, yes. All right. What is considered a low ATR and a high ATR? If you look at this page, the highest number is the highest one, and the lowest one is the lowest one. So that's how you get the low and the high. It varies from time to time. So you've got to look at the currencies that you're trading, and that will give you a good idea. I mean, it varies. Like this one's 40 and that one's 17. So there's 47 there and 17. So it does vary tremendously, and it's very important if you are looking for a good result. Now we traded the euro yen today, which is 31. So it's 31 is still higher than, for instance, the euro and the yen and the CAD and the Aussie, and so the 31 is quite a good volatility to trade. And the profile in the link are for the. No, I don't have any profiles for MT4. I'm not sure if they'll work on MT5 at all. All the profiles and templates are MT4. No, look, it also varies. This is the 4 hour. So if you go to the daily, the numbers are going to be all different there too. You see, so yeah, you've got 141, and there you have 37. So it varies tremendously depending on how you use the ATR. So for the daily, the numbers will be different. For the 4 hour, it will be different, and so on. So that's why you can't give guidelines whether 20 is higher. It depends on the time frame you're talking about. Okay, I think we've sort of got to the end now. It's been a long session. Thank you very much for your attendance. I have recorded this webinar. It must probably only come out tomorrow, around about tomorrow morning this time, so in about 12 hours time. And thanks for your comments and questions. Sorry I couldn't answer them as the webinar was going, but as you could see, it took quite a bit of concentration to get through all of that, and it's going to be quite interesting to see how our deal goes. There we are. It is set and forget. So so we'll just see in. I don't know how long this would take to actually mature, but the market is very low in volatility, so it might take a while for this transaction to mature. Okay, right. Cheerio then. Bye.